Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone tried to influence or control your thoughts and decisions? Often, we don't even realize it, but people use various tactics to manipulate our emotions and perspectives. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius teaches us how to achieve true freedom by mastering self-control and resisting external influence. In today's video, we will explore 20 powerful Stoic principles that will help you stay independent, confident, and free from manipulation. So, make sure to watch the entire video, as each point can bring a meaningful change to your life. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment with your thoughts. And of course, subscribe to the channel to stay connected with us. Number 1. Control your emotions. Have you ever been in a situation where you acted out of anger or emotion only to regret it later, thinking, if only I had taken a moment to think? If so, you already know how a lack of emotional control can make you vulnerable to manipulation. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, if someone can make you angry, know that they are controlling you. And it's true, when we let our emotions take over, we lose control of ourselves and hand that power to others. They can influence our reactions, decisions, and even our peace of mind. But what if you could master your emotions instead of letting them master you? If you learn how to regulate your emotions, no one will be able to manipulate you. Here are 3 simple yet powerful strategies to achieve this. First, take a pause. Whenever you feel angry, frustrated, or overwhelmed, resist the urge to react immediately. Instead, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is the best response in this situation? You'll find that just a few seconds of self-restraint can significantly change your perspective and prevent impulsive reactions. Second, ask yourself the right questions. The Stoics teach us to reflect. Is this situation within my control? If the answer is no, then worrying about it is pointless. Stressing over things beyond your control only harms you, not the situation. Third, turn your emotions into strength. Many people believe that emotions only make us weak, but when used correctly, they can be a source of power. Instead of letting anger, disappointment, or sadness consume you, channel these emotions into something productive. If someone tries to bring you down, use that as motivation to improve yourself, sharpen your skills, and prove them wrong through success. When emotions are controlled, they can become fuel for growth rather than a barrier. Finally, remember, the one who controls their emotions is the one who holds true power. Stoicism teaches us that emotions are not our enemies, but if they control us, they become a weakness. Instead of suppressing your emotions, learn to manage them wisely. That way, you'll remain independent, unshaken, and immune to manipulation. Number 2. Don't let external events affect you. Every day, countless things happen around us. Someone may insult us, plans may fall apart, or situations may not go in our favor. But the real question is, can we control whether these events disturb our inner peace? The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, if something upsets you, it is not the thing itself, but your reaction to it. In other words, it's not the external event that matters, but how we perceive and respond to it. Imagine someone insults you. If you take it personally, get angry, or seek revenge, then that person is controlling you. But if you ask yourself, do these words really define me or hold any real value in my life? You'll realize that their words have no power over you unless you allow them to. How to train your mind. First, control your reaction. If your mind remains calm, no external force can truly harm you. When someone tries to provoke you, your response is your true power. Second, look at the bigger picture. A small event or someone's words cannot change your entire life. Ask yourself, will this matter 5 years from now? If the answer is no, then there's no reason to let it disturb you now. Third, remind yourself, your peace is in your hands. Whenever something tries to upset you, ask yourself, do I really want to let this situation take away my peace? If you choose not to, then nothing can truly affect you. Ultimately, external events only have as much power over us as we give them. Train your mind, develop self-control, and make your life calmer and more fulfilling. Number 3. Don't make decisions under the pressure of opinions. In life, you'll encounter countless opinions, from family, friends, coworkers, and society at large. Everyone wants you to think and act in line with their ideas, and often, their preferences shape the advice they give. But the real question is, will you let your life be shaped by others' wishes, or will you follow your own path? The Stoics teach us, true strength comes from standing firm on your own values and beliefs. If you constantly make decisions based on other people's opinions, you'll never be truly free. Imagine you're about to make a decision, but everyone around you is telling you to do something different. Now, ask yourself, do you want to make a choice based on what others want, or do you want to follow your own experience, values, and conscience? How to avoid succumbing to the pressure of opinions? First, clarify your beliefs. If you're not clear on what you want, believe in, and where you want to go, others will easily influence you. Therefore, establish your goals and principles firmly. Second, remember, you can't please everyone. No matter what you do, someone will criticize you. Trying to change your truth just to satisfy others is not wise. Instead, do what's right, because that's what will bring you long-term peace and confidence. Third, take responsibility for your decisions. If you make a poor decision by being swayed by others, you alone will bear the consequences. It's fine to listen to advice, but before making a final decision, ask yourself, is this truly right for me? If the answer is yes, move forward with confidence. In the end, remember, your life is yours to live. Opinions will come, criticism will come, but ultimately, the decision is yours. And when you stay true to your beliefs, that's when you become truly powerful. Number 4. Don't be deceived by false praise. In life, many people will try to gain your trust by showering you with false praise. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear, often with an agenda of their own. But the question is, how do you differentiate between genuine praise and flattery designed to manipulate you? The Stoics teach us that true praise is that which helps improve your character, not that which flatters or inflates your ego. When people praise you for superficial reasons or merely to gain favor, it's often a sign that they want something from you, rather than genuinely appreciating who you are. Imagine someone telling you how amazing you are, but deep down, you feel that their praise isn't grounded in the truth of your actions or character. Instead of letting it go to your head, ask yourself, does this praise help me grow, or is it just intended to make me feel good? How to avoid being deceived by false praise. First, focus on your growth. True praise should come from actions that genuinely improve your character. Whether or not people praise you, your growth and integrity should be your focus. Second, understand the motive behind the praise. Sometimes, people praise you to get something in return. Be mindful of the intention behind their words. If the praise feels empty or exaggerated, take a step back and evaluate whether it's truly deserved. Third, stay humble. True self-worth comes from within, not from external praise. Stay grounded in your values and character, and remember that any praise that doesn't contribute to your personal growth should be taken lightly. Remember this, real praise is not about inflating your ego but about encouraging you to become a better person. So, don't let false praise cloud your judgment. Stay true to your path, focus on your growth, and only accept praise that genuinely helps you improve as a person. Number 5. Control your anger. Anger is a powerful weapon, one that your enemies would love to see you wield. When you allow anger to take control, you weaken yourself and make it easier for others to manipulate you. But the question is, how can we prevent anger from taking the reins and stay in control? The Stoics believed that anger, like any other emotion, can be destructive if not managed properly. It clouds our judgment, makes us react impulsively, and often leads to decisions we later regret. When we give in to anger, we lose our clarity of mind, and in doing so, we give power to those who seek to provoke us. Imagine a situation where someone insults you or challenges you. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to let anger take over, but by doing so, you've already lost the battle. Instead, think for a moment, is this anger going to help me, or is it just going to make me vulnerable? How to control your anger. First, recognize the signs of anger. Before you act on anger, notice the physical and emotional cues that it's starting to rise. Take a step back, breathe, and pause before reacting. This moment of awareness can prevent you from making rash decisions. Second, reframe your thinking. Instead of seeing the situation as an attack on you, try to view it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, can I learn something from this situation even if it makes me angry? By shifting your perspective, you take away the power anger has over you. Third, choose your response. You have the power to choose how to respond to any situation. Instead of reacting in anger, choose to stay calm and think rationally. A calm response not only prevents you from being controlled by anger, but also demonstrates strength and self-discipline. Remember this, anger is a tool your enemies want you to use against yourself. By staying calm and in control, you protect your inner peace and maintain your power. Don't let anger make you weak. Instead, use it as a reminder to stay grounded and focused on your goals. Number 6. Be concise and mindful. The Stoics teach us, actions speak louder than words. When you speak too much, you leave room for others to find your weaknesses or use your words against you. Excessive talking often reveals more than we intend and can make us vulnerable to manipulation. In a world where everyone has an opinion, it's easy to fall into the trap of talking too much or over-explaining yourself. However, when you are mindful of your words and speak concisely, you not only protect your inner strength but also show confidence in your actions. Imagine you're in a conversation, and you feel the need to justify yourself over and over. The more you talk, the more you reveal, and the more you risk being misunderstood or manipulated. Instead, consider how powerful silence can be. By speaking less, you keep control of the narrative, and your actions will ultimately define who you are. How to be concise and mindful. First, think before speaking. Pause before you respond. Consider whether your words are necessary and if they will add value to the conversation. This moment of reflection helps you avoid unnecessary speech and ensures your words are purposeful. Second, focus on your actions. Let your actions speak louder than your words. People respect what you do more than what you say. By focusing on meaningful actions rather than talking endlessly, you naturally command more respect. Third, practice restraint. Resist the urge to explain yourself excessively or seek validation through words. A concise, well-chosen response is far more powerful than rambling or over-explaining. Remember this, words can be a double-edged sword. Speak with intention and mindfulness, and let your actions show your true strength. Number 7. Don't fall into the trap of greed. In life, some people will try to entice you with promises of wealth, power, or possessions. They'll use temptation to lure you in, hoping that your desires will cloud your judgment. But the question is, can you resist the trap of greed, or will you allow it to control you? The Stoics teach us that true happiness comes from self-control, not from external wealth or material possessions. While it's easy to get caught up in the allure of more, whether it's money, status, or things, the Stoic philosophy reminds us that these desires only lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction. The more we chase after them, the emptier we feel. Imagine being offered something that seems too good to be true. It's tempting, right? But before rushing in, ask yourself, is this really what I need, or is it just a distraction from my true purpose? Greed makes us think that more will bring us happiness, but it's actually self-control and contentment with what we have that lead to lasting peace. How to avoid falling into the trap of greed. First, practice gratitude. Focus on what you already have rather than constantly seeking more. True contentment comes from appreciating the present moment and being grateful for what is already in your life. Second, understand the difference between needs and wants. Ask yourself, do I need this, or do I just want it because I'm being tempted? Often, our desires are driven by impulse, not necessity. By recognizing this, you can make more mindful decisions. Third, build self-discipline. The more you practice self-control, the easier it becomes to resist temptation. When you choose to prioritize your long-term happiness over short-term pleasures, you gain true freedom. Remember this, greed will never satisfy you. True happiness comes from mastering your desires, not being ruled by them. Stay focused on what truly matters and live a life guided by purpose, not by the pursuit of more. Number 8. Be patient in making important decisions. In life, we often face situations where decisions need to be made quickly. It's easy to rush into making choices, especially when there's pressure from others or the fear of missing out. However, the question is, do quick decisions lead to better outcomes, or is patience the key to making the right choice? The Stoics teach us that haste leads to mistakes, while patience allows us to think clearly and make well-informed decisions. When you rush into a decision, you're more likely to overlook important details, miss out on better alternatives, or allow others to manipulate you. But if you take your time to carefully consider your options, you empower yourself to make choices that align with your values and goals. Imagine being in a situation where you feel pressured to decide on something quickly. It could be a job offer, a big investment, or a personal relationship. Instead of rushing into it, take a step back, breathe, and give yourself time to reflect. Think about the long-term consequences and how the decision fits into your life's bigger picture. How to be patient in making important decisions. First, take time to reflect. Pause and give yourself the space to think. Don't let anyone pressure you into making decisions hastily. Reflect on the situation, consider all angles, and evaluate the potential outcomes. Second, avoid making decisions based on emotions. When emotions run high, clarity can be clouded. Wait for your emotions to settle before making important decisions, as this will allow you to think more rationally and logically. Third, trust the process. Good decisions take time. Trust yourself to make the right choice when you've given it enough thought and consideration. Patience is not about delaying. It's about making sure you're choosing the best path for your future. Remember this, rushed decisions often lead to regret. Be patient, take your time, and trust your ability to make decisions that will bring long-term success and fulfillment. Number 9. Don't seek external validation. In a world where likes, shares, and praise are constantly at our fingertips, it's tempting to seek external validation for everything we do. But the question is, do we really need others' approval to feel good about ourselves, or can we find contentment in doing what is right, regardless of recognition? The Stoics teach us that true reward comes from within, not from external praise or recognition. When you focus on doing what is morally right and fulfilling your responsibilities, you don't need the approval of others to feel proud. The real satisfaction lies in knowing that your actions align with your values and contribute positively to your life and the lives of others. Imagine working hard on a project or doing something meaningful, yet no one notices. It's easy to feel discouraged or disappointed. However, instead of seeking praise, ask yourself, did I do this to help others or because it aligns with my values? If the answer is yes, then the effort itself is the reward. How to avoid seeking external validation? First, focus on intrinsic rewards. Rather than seeking applause, focus on the satisfaction that comes from knowing you've done your best. Let your actions reflect your integrity and find fulfillment in the process itself. Second, cultivate self-awareness. Understand why you do what you do. When you know your purpose and values, external validation becomes irrelevant. You'll find that the most important approval is your own. Third, take pride in your responsibility. Recognize that fulfilling your duties and living according to your principles is the ultimate reward. Your internal sense of accomplishment is far more valuable than any external praise. Remember this, true satisfaction comes from within. You don't need the approval of others to validate your worth. By staying true to your values and responsibilities, you will find deeper fulfillment and peace. Number 10. Stay firm in your values. In a world full of pressures and changing expectations, it's easy to be swayed by the opinions of others. People, society, and even situations will try to convince you to compromise or change your values to fit in. But the question is, can you stay true to yourself even when the world urges you to change? The Stoics teach us that staying firm in your values is a sign of true strength. When you hold onto your principles and beliefs, no one can easily manipulate you or push you off course. Your integrity becomes your shield against external pressures, and it empowers you to navigate the world with clarity and confidence. Imagine facing a situation where you're pressured to act against your values. It could be a decision at work, in a relationship, or in your personal life. If you know what you stand for, you won't be easily swayed by others, because your internal compass will guide you in the right direction. How to stay firm in your values? First, define your values clearly. Understand what you stand for and what is most important to you. Having a strong sense of your values makes it easier to resist external pressures and stay aligned with your true self. Second, trust your principles. Trust that living according to your values will lead to long-term fulfillment, even if it's harder in the short term. Be confident that acting with integrity is always the right choice. Third, avoid compromising for short-term gains. Sometimes, it's tempting to bend your values for immediate rewards. However, remember that compromising your principles often leads to regret. Staying true to your values builds long-term respect and inner peace. Remember this, the world may try to change you, but when you hold on to your values, no one can easily sway you. Your principles are your foundation, and when you stay true to them, you will remain strong and unshakable. Number 11. Conquer your fears. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions that can hold us back. It has the ability to paralyze us, prevent us from taking action, and make us vulnerable to manipulation. The question is, why do we let fear control us, and how can we face it head-on to regain our power? The Stoics teach us that true strength comes from confronting our fears, not running away from them. Fear often thrives in the unknown, and by facing it directly, we strip it of its power over us. When we learn to face our fears, we gain confidence, resilience, and the ability to control our destiny. Imagine being in a situation where fear begins to creep in, whether it's fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown. Instead of avoiding the situation or giving in to fear, challenge yourself by asking, what's the worst that could happen, and how can I handle it? The more you face your fears, the less control they have over you, and the stronger you become. How to conquer your fears? First, identify your fears. Understanding what you're afraid of is the first step in overcoming it. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown, naming your fears makes them easier to confront. Second, take small steps towards facing them. You don't have to conquer all your fears at once. Start by taking small, manageable steps that push you out of your comfort zone. Each step you take will build your courage and make you stronger. Third, reframe fear as an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing fear as something to avoid, view it as a chance to grow. Every time you face a fear and overcome it, you grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Remember this, fear is a tool that others use to control you. But when you face your fears with courage, you take back your power. Don't let fear hold you back. Use it as fuel to become stronger, more resilient, and more confident. Number 12. Don't fall into the trap of others' perspectives. It's natural to care about what others think of us, but the question is, do we let their opinions shape how we see ourselves, or do we create our own sense of self-worth? The Stoics teach us that if you constantly worry about others' judgments, you become enslaved to their desires and expectations. When you let others dictate your worth, you lose control over your life and actions. Instead, you should focus on defining your own value based on your principles, actions, and beliefs, not by the fleeting opinions of others. Imagine being constantly concerned with how others perceive you, whether they approve of your decisions, your lifestyle, or your choices. It's exhausting, right? Instead of giving in to this external pressure, ask yourself, do I value myself because of who I am, or do I let others define my worth? True peace comes from within, and when you stop seeking validation from others, you regain your independence. How to avoid falling into the trap of others' perspectives? First, define your own values. Take time to understand what matters to you. When you know your principles and beliefs, you can confidently live according to them without seeking approval from others. Second, focus on your actions, not their opinions. Let your actions speak for you. When you focus on doing what's right for you, based on your values, you'll find that others' opinions matter much less. Third, build self-acceptance. Accept yourself as you are, imperfections and all. When you fully embrace who you are and take responsibility for your choices, the opinions of others lose their power over you. Remember this, the more you seek approval from others, the more you become a servant to their desires. True freedom comes from deciding your own worth and living authentically without being influenced by others' perspectives. Number 13. Avoid unnecessary arguments. In a world where everyone has an opinion, it's easy to get caught up in debates and arguments. But the question is, does engaging in every argument actually lead to growth and understanding, or does it simply fuel more frustration and conflict? The Stoics teach us that arguments often do more harm than good. When you engage in a pointless debate, it's easy for others to provoke you and drag you into emotional responses. This not only drains your energy but also diverts you from your true goals. Instead, focus on discussing only those issues that truly matter and that contribute to your growth and understanding. Imagine being in a situation where you're drawn into an argument that seems insignificant in the grand scheme of things. The more you argue, the more agitated you become, and the further you get from a solution. Instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, is this argument really worth my time and energy? Will it lead to a positive outcome? How to avoid unnecessary arguments. First, pick your battles wisely. Not every issue needs to be debated. Before engaging, ask yourself if the argument is truly important or if it's just a distraction. Focus on what aligns with your values and long-term goals. Second, stay calm and composed. Don't let your emotions control your responses. If you feel yourself getting provoked, take a step back, breathe, and assess whether responding will add any value to the conversation. Third, aim for constructive dialogue. When you do engage in discussions, keep them rational and respectful. Aim to understand the other person's perspective and present your own in a calm, logical manner. Remember this: unnecessary arguments only lead to frustration and wasted energy. Focus on meaningful discussions that contribute to your growth, and avoid getting caught up in disputes that serve no real purpose. Number 14. Maintain a calm and steady mindset. Life is filled with challenges and difficult situations, and it's easy to get caught up in stress or agitation. But the question is, does reacting with anxiety and frustration solve the problem, or does a calm, steady mindset bring more clarity and strength? The Stoics teach us that by maintaining a calm and steady mind, we can better navigate through life's difficulties. When faced with a troubling situation, instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, is this really as important as it feels in this moment? Often, we get swept up in the emotions of the moment, but when we pause and reflect, we realize that many problems aren't as big as they seem. Imagine encountering a stressful situation, like a deadline, a disagreement, or an unexpected challenge. It's easy to become overwhelmed, but when you take a step back and ask yourself if the issue is truly important in the grand scheme of things, you may find that the intensity of your feelings lessens. This allows you to respond calmly and make better decisions. How to maintain a calm and steady mindset? First, practice mindfulness. By staying present in the moment and not allowing your mind to wander into unnecessary worries, you can maintain a sense of calm. Focus on what you can control right now, rather than stressing over the future. Second, ask yourself perspective-shifting questions. When you're faced with a challenge, take a moment to ask, is this really as important as it seems? Will this matter a year from now? This helps put things into perspective and reduces the emotional charge of the situation. Third, take deep breaths and pause. When you feel your emotions rising, pause and take a few deep breaths. This simple practice can reset your nervous system and help you regain composure. Remember this: a calm and steady mind can transform how you approach challenges. By questioning the true importance of a situation and responding thoughtfully, you can navigate life with greater peace and clarity. Number 15. Analyze the situation. In life, people will often try to influence or manipulate us for their own gain. But the question is, how do we recognize when we're being manipulated, and how can we stay alert to see through false strategies? The Stoics teach us that awareness and analysis of the situation are key to avoiding manipulation. By understanding how others are trying to influence us, we can remain in control of our decisions and actions. It's important to take a step back and observe the intentions behind someone's words or behavior, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. Imagine being in a situation where someone is pressuring you to make a decision, or using flattery, guilt, or threats to sway you. Without awareness, it's easy to fall into their trap. But by analyzing the situation and the tactics being used, you can make an informed choice and avoid being manipulated. How to analyze the situation. First, observe the motives. Pay attention to the intentions behind the words and actions of others. Are they genuinely looking out for your well-being, or are they trying to benefit from your decisions? Being aware of others' motives will help you make clearer, more thoughtful decisions. Second, stay calm and assess. Before reacting, take a moment to reflect on the situation. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Step back and evaluate whether the pressure or persuasion is based on facts, or if it's an emotional manipulation. Third, trust your instincts. Your intuition can often tell you when something doesn't feel right. If you sense that someone is using underhanded tactics to influence you, trust that feeling and take the time to assess the situation before making any decisions. Remember this: being aware of the tactics others use to influence you helps you stay in control of your actions. By analyzing situations carefully and remaining alert to manipulation, you can protect yourself from being misled and make decisions that are true to your values. Number 16. Build good habits. Success in life often comes down to the habits we cultivate. But the question is, how do we build habits that support our growth, resilience, and inner peace? The Stoics teach us that self-control, patience, and clarity of thought are essential habits for navigating life's challenges. When you practice these qualities regularly, you become more capable of staying calm and steady in difficult situations. Rather than being reactive, you become proactive in shaping your responses to the world around you. Imagine a challenging situation arises, a stressful day at work, a personal setback, or an unexpected change. If you've developed the habits of self-control, patience, and clear thinking, you'll be able to respond with calm and logic, rather than anxiety or frustration. How to build good habits? First, practice self-control daily. Self-control starts with small, everyday actions. Whether it's resisting the urge to react impulsively or maintaining focus on your goals, practicing self-control in everyday life builds the foundation for stronger mental discipline. Second, cultivate patience through mindfulness. Patience is essential for enduring life's challenges without getting frustrated. Practice mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or meditation to increase your ability to stay calm and patient, even when things don't go as planned. Third, train your mind to think clearly. Develop the habit of clear thinking by regularly reflecting on your thoughts, questioning assumptions, and considering different perspectives. Clear thinking helps you make more rational decisions and avoid being swayed by emotional impulses. Remember this: building good habits takes time, but the rewards are immeasurable. When you consistently practice self-control, patience, and clarity of thought, you'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace and resilience. Number 17. Be confident in yourself. Confidence is a powerful force. But the question is, how can you cultivate true self-confidence that helps you stay grounded and unshaken, no matter what others say or do? The Stoics teach us that confidence doesn't come from external validation but from within. When you trust your abilities, stand by your values, and believe in your decisions, you become impervious to external manipulation. Others may try to sway you, but your inner confidence will help you stay firm in your beliefs and actions. Imagine a situation where you're faced with criticism, doubts, or pressure from others. If you have confidence in yourself, you will be able to stand strong without being easily swayed or discouraged. You'll trust that your choices are based on your judgment, and that's enough to keep you moving forward. How to be confident? First, trust your abilities. Recognize your strengths and the value you bring to the table. Confidence comes from knowing that you are capable and competent, even when faced with challenges. Second, accept yourself fully. Self-confidence is rooted in self-acceptance. Embrace who you are, flaws and all. When you accept yourself, you stop seeking approval from others and start living authentically. Third, practice resilience. Confidence grows through experience. When you face difficulties and bounce back from them, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Remember this: when you have confidence in yourself, no one can easily sway you. This inner strength not only protects you from manipulation but also empowers you to take control of your life and make bold decisions. Number 18. Stay away from unnecessary emotions. Emotions are a natural part of being human, but the question is, can we control them, or do we allow our emotions to control us? The Stoics teach us that excessive emotions can cloud our judgment and make us vulnerable to manipulation. When we react impulsively out of anger, fear, or excitement, we often make decisions that are not aligned with our true values or goals. Others can use our emotional reactions against us, making it easier for them to influence our choices. Imagine being in a heated argument or feeling overwhelmed by stress. If you allow your emotions to take over, it can be easy for someone to manipulate your feelings and lead you down a path you wouldn't normally choose. Instead, when you stay calm and collected, you can make rational decisions and respond in a way that protects your integrity and well-being. How to stay away from unnecessary emotions? First, practice emotional awareness. Be mindful of your emotional state. Before reacting, pause and reflect on what you're feeling. This awareness gives you the space to choose a measured response instead of reacting impulsively. Second, separate your feelings from your decisions. While emotions are valid, they shouldn't drive your decisions. Train yourself to take a step back, calm down, and think logically before making any major choices. Third, cultivate inner peace. Develop habits that help you stay calm and centered, like meditation, deep breathing, or physical exercise. When you have a sense of inner peace, external emotions are less likely to throw you off course. Remember this, excessive emotions can cloud your judgment and make you vulnerable to others' influence. By staying in control of your feelings and responding with wisdom, you protect yourself from being manipulated and make better choices for your future. Number 19. Stay away from unnecessary emotions. Emotions are a natural part of being human, but the question is, can we control them, or do we allow our emotions to control us? The Stoics teach us that excessive emotions can cloud our judgment and make us vulnerable to manipulation. When we react impulsively out of anger, fear, or excitement, we often make decisions that are not aligned with our true values or goals. Others can use our emotional reactions against us, making it easier for them to influence our choices. Imagine being in a heated argument or feeling overwhelmed by stress. If you allow your emotions to take over, it can be easy for someone to manipulate your feelings and lead you down a path you wouldn't normally choose. Instead, when you stay calm and collected, you can make rational decisions and respond in a way that protects your integrity and well-being. How to stay away from unnecessary emotions? First, practice emotional awareness. Be mindful of your emotional state. Before reacting, pause and reflect on what you're feeling. This awareness gives you the space to choose a measured response instead of reacting impulsively. Second, separate your feelings from your decisions. While emotions are valid, they shouldn't drive your decisions. Train yourself to take a step back, calm down, and think logically before making any major choices. Third, cultivate inner peace. Develop habits that help you stay calm and centered, like meditation, deep breathing, or physical exercise. When you have a sense of inner peace, external emotions are less likely to throw you off course. Remember this, excessive emotions can cloud your judgment and make you vulnerable to others' influence. By staying in control of your feelings and responding with wisdom, you protect yourself from being manipulated and make better choices for your future. Number 20. Prioritize inner peace. In life, we often chase after external goals, success, or validation, but the question is, what is the most important thing to protect above all else? The Stoics teach us that inner peace is the ultimate key to freedom and strength. When you prioritize maintaining a peaceful mind, regardless of external circumstances, no one can control or manipulate you. If you can cultivate a calm and steady mind, even in the face of chaos, you become immune to external influences. Imagine a challenging day, stressful situations at work, conflicts with others, or unexpected setbacks. If you allow these external events to disturb your peace, they can easily knock you off course. But if you focus on preserving your inner peace, nothing will have the power to sway you or control your reactions. How to prioritize inner peace? First, practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness exercises can help you stay grounded in the present moment, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Meditation can calm the mind and restore balance. Second, Let go of things beyond your control. Focus on what you can control and accept that some things are simply out of your hands. When you stop fighting against the uncontrollable, you make space for peace to settle within you. Third, maintain perspective. In every situation, ask yourself if the outcome really matters in the long run. By maintaining perspective, you can avoid getting swept up in temporary frustrations and focus on what truly matters. Remember this, your peace of mind is your greatest asset. When you prioritize inner peace, you not only protect yourself from manipulation, but you also gain the strength to navigate life's challenges with resilience and clarity. Final thought. If you follow these 20 Stoic principles, no one will be able to easily influence you. Take control of your own power and practice Stoic philosophy. Would you like to learn more about Stoic philosophy? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.